Fam, what is up? It's a 3 p.m. stream today on Friday. Still in lockdown. Actually, all of California is pretty much locked down. I got notification this morning that that basically let's take a look. By the way, if you are tuning in, make sure to like this video. Actually, no, it's pretty funny. YouTube's been demonetizing all my videos because I've been talking about, the dreaded you know, the beer virus. But yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff for the most part. Um but if you take a look at the kind of like the headlines right now, let's see. California is let's take a look at this. California is issuing a statewide mandatory stay-at-home order as well. So you're seeing all these headlines as well. I haven't really dived into it too much, but that's what's happening at the moment. So pretty crazy stuff that all that sort of stuff is happening. I've actually been really in touch with a lot of my friends too on the front lines, and just seeing how they're doing at the moment. Um, a lot of them are actually like they have crazy patients, all that sort of stuff, and I mean, I stand by everything that I said last time yesterday around this time as well. So I'm gonna open up the comments. Make sure to start commenting if you have any questions and stuff. I also had a request to talk about remote, how to create a remote income. I was gonna do a specific video on how to create a remote income as a pharmacist as well, specifically toward pharmacists, and one that's more general, right? Because I don't believe that you necessarily should be, if you want to create a remote income, I don't necessarily think that we should put ourselves in a box initially, right? There's so many different things out there that are legit that you don't need to put like $10 billion into as well, right? I was just actually on a having a chat with my with a viewer of mine. He's feeling very stuck, and I just decided to take 30 minutes just to help him out right before the stream. That's why I was actually running a bit late. But Tefra says, I'm in California, but I feel like I'm a soft version of China. American says, hi everyone. We got the regulars in the house, man. This is freaking awesome, guys. So I do want to highlight some videos that I've been watching recently. One of them is RX Comedy, and he actually had some really good points. We're not gonna watch his video on the stream, but basically, if I go to his, and RX Comedy is a great dude, man. I know him personally. We chat every once in a blue moon and stuff like that. But he also, let's see, let's take a look at this. His YouTube. He actually posted a video, and he had a video about this guy's gonna. I guarantee you, by the way, RX Comedy is gonna surpass me. His engagement is like crazy for YouTube, and I was telling him that I was like, dude, you gotta talk more about pharmacy, man, because comedy is the best way to enter the pharmacy niche and stuff. He has a video called why Walgreens should make the pharmacy drive-through, and it's a very legit point, by the way. So when I was highlighting all the craziness that was happening on the front lines of pharmacy and whatnot, um, I mean, he basically, there's like stories and ZDog MD, Dr. ZDog MD. Let me kind of pause this really quick. I don't want to play. Hold on. Fuck. My computer's slow as shit. Great. Cool. So it stopped. But basically what let's change the view. Basically what my friend RX Comedy was talking about is how there should be curbside pickup and pharmacy drive-through. I think there's a growing concern for healthcare professionals and really making sure that they're protected. We absolutely, I feel very strongly about this, where we absolutely need to protect our frontline people, right? Including pharmacists. I know doctors and nurses, they do a really hard job as well, but especially pharmacy too. Like there's a lot of other industry, like other healthcare workers who are exposed too, who need to we need to make sure that they're protected, because if we lose our healthcare professionals, that's the quickest way to fucking die. And there's honestly, if people are gonna be fucking assholes to our healthcare professionals, they should be locked up or fucking executed on spot. Well, maybe that's a exaggeration, but yeah, Ark's comedy is funny and makes really good points. Yeah, he's a really good dude, man. He's like a really good guy. Um, why Walgreens doesn't have a better drive-through speaker or intercom system? Fast food has a better intercom system. Yeah, he brought up some really great points. I really highly recommend that you watch that video when you get a chance, as well. So I always love supporting my friends, like, and he's just a really great guy. So he had that. But he was just talking. It really comes down to this, right? I even commented on his video if you take a look at it. Um, Agreed. It really goes to show you that pharmacy management has no idea about priorities. They talk a big game when it comes to protecting the health of the community, but based off their actions, they're more there to protect their wallets, right? And we're looking at all these comments; they're flooding in. Like he really hit something, and his SEO is not even that great. That's crazy. But 4,000 in just a short amount of time. It's he brings up a good point. Okay. In terms of other content I'm going to be doing, because I was actually planning my content earlier today, and I was actually going to be doing a remote, like how to start a remote service-based business. That's the first thing. And then second, another topic I'm going to be talking about on my kick-ass investing channel is how to invest into a recession market like this. I'm going to be talking about how to create like pharmacy remote jobs as well, because I definitely see a huge trend headed toward remote. And so I want to make sure to help as many people transition over remote work because I highly believe in it. I don't understand why, like not every job, some jobs you simply can't just do 100% remote. I get it, but there's no reason why we can't start transitioning more and more jobs to remote based. Everybody's happier. We're not polluting the freaking environment with all this extra carbon footprint bullshit, right? There's that. People are happier. They have more control over their schedules, right? And as long as they get the work done, that's the primary concern, right? At least we can, even if you can't go 100% remote, at least you can reduce some of the face time, I guess, with people as well. So that's what's going on. By the way, make sure smash the like button. I know Tefra, American, the OGs are in the house. Make sure to smash this like button. Taha says, "What is your opinion on Trump calling the COVID? What is your opinion on calling COVID-19 the Chinese virus?" I I don't know. I really don't really. I honestly don't really care, and I'm also Chinese too. So, I think one thing I've just really learned to do is just ignore everything. I don't like, I don't think it's like, sure. The first cases were probably in Wuhan and all that sort of stuff, but I mean, I don't think we need to fucking slander the Chinese people, man. Like, I'm, don't get me wrong. I'm not always pro China. I'm not pro China at all, actually. I don't like how they kind of like, I'm always kind of a little bit skeptical about their data coming out of there, to be honest with you. So, because Chinese people, a lot of them are about face, and so they'll manipulate data, they'll hide data. Same with the Russians have also been accused for this as well, right? So that's what's happening over there. But uh, and I've also heard like I called my best friend today, my oldest friend back in Boston, and he's telling me that Trump was calling it kung flu and stuff like that. So I know there's a lot of anti-Asian type of things, but I mean, um, I don't think it's. I don't think like I don't think calling it the Chinese flu necessarily is a racist comment or anything like that. American said, "I hit the like button already." I read a headline recently that claimed there's no new cases in China while corona cases are growing fast in Italy and Spain at the moment. It's really, you really got to ask yourself though, is that actual fact though, right? Is that the real truth coming out of China? I mean, not like, here's the truth. China has been caught like manipulating a lot of their data, especially when it comes in terms of stock market and all that sort of stuff. So just always got to be really cautious and skeptical about like what's actually coming out. If they are, that's great. Great job on China, man. But we always have to take it with a grain of salt. Anything that comes in China, there's sometimes, like a lot of times, there's an alternative motive, right? So it's just something to be very, very like just really gotta think about it as well. Do you miss your hair? Not really. Actually, you know what? Especially during these times, I don't miss my hair at all. I don't gotta go to a barber shop. It's really easy to just maintain baldness. I think, like, honestly, going bald was one of the best decisions. It saved me a lot of money, and it's like, hey, I mean, if it's me, man, call me Asian Joe Rogan all you want. The home countries of Ty Lopez and Grant Cardone, America, baby. Um, Taha asks, "Are you from Hong Kong or mainland?" So as far as me, I'm 100% American, but my family is part of my family is from the mainland, southern China, and then part of my family is from Hong Kong and stuff. So just to give you a little background about my family, I'm on my dad's side. I think I'm technically fourth generation Chinese. Um, my family has like served in U.S. Military for. I think me and my brother were the first. Like my generation was the first not to serve in the military. They didn't want us to serve in the military, but basically, I mean, my grandfather was fighting against the Axis forces in over in Italy and whatnot as well. So long history of service over there. And then my mom during that time, my mom actually escaped during the Cultural Revolution, during the Mao Zedong days, man. So that was what was happening over there. Uh, so funny, man. These screen names. Peeps, how Corona Crew doing? People ask, is this Jesus coming? Um, I don't know. People like predict that this is like the end of the world. I really don't think it's the end of the world. I see like I was telling a lot of my friends, I see a lot of opportunity actually like within dark times, and I think a lot of the rich, right? They really capitalize on this time because think about it, when when panic is ensuing, where do you feel like the most? When do you feel like people need the most help? Now, so they're gonna charge an extra premium on everything. When like it's easier to sell people things that they believe is a necessity, right? And so I feel like people are just really doubling down. If you are a stable 9 to 5 and you don't believe your job is at risk or anything like that, this is a great time to start investing into a market. And I'll give you a sneak preview of my video on Monday coming out on Kick-Ass Investing. But really, if you aren't already, you should be dollar cost averaging. So basically investing a certain amount every single month. And if while we're in the recession, you should increase that amount. Maybe double it, maybe add a few hundred, maybe even add $50, right? Whatever amount you should be investing into a market if you are in a stable job. Now, if you're trying to make ends meet, it's going to be a lot harder. But I always think it's really important to be investing something into a market rather than nothing. You know, that's the major thing, right? How and guess what? If the world is ending, what can you really do? You know, fuck, you're just stuck in a tough place, man. Um, let's see. Do you know martial arts? Says Zerk. Yeah, I do. I do jujitsu. I have it plastered all over my channel. I love jujitsu. Jujitsu is my major thing that I love doing. And by the way, those 5 people smash that like button. Let's see. With the recession looming, do you wish you were still in the healthcare field since it's a more stable and lucrative job? Not really. I mean, if I really want to invest in healthcare, there's other ways I can invest. I could definitely I mean, just because you're like think about it like this too. You're at a higher risk of exposure. But you're also helping people out. There's that impact. There's more of an impact nowadays than ever before as a healthcare professional, right? But that's why I give so much props and I feel so strongly about giving health frontline healthcare professionals PPE, right? Protective. What is the second P? Like whatever. Basically, giving that, making sure that they're protected at all times, right? And if we aren't prioritizing that, and we're prioritizing flu shots and shit, or like vaccinations over protective gear, man, there's something wrong. And it just goes to show you, corporate. That's where a government really needs to step in and really be able to mandate a lot of these protective things. But it's a little too late now. we needed to prepare a long time ago for situations like these, right? It's just I feel it puts a lot of our healthcare professionals in a really tough place at the moment, right? So but in terms of practicing, I don't miss it. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunities even within this recession type of market and all that as well. So yeah. Lemon says the Farm D baby. Yeah, what's up? Yes, the Farm D. By the way, if anybody is doing pharmacy, please let me know as well. Like, let's kind of get some frontline stories, what's happening in the world. Um, by the way, let me pull this other video up. By Z Dog MD. Really, really great leader as well. Like when it comes to healthcare, like knowledge and letting everybody know what's happening on Frontline. And by the way, all this COVID-19 type of stuff um is being demonetized, by the way. Like I'm not making any, pretty much zero to little ads, but I think it's important to talk about, right? Just to document as well, right? What's going on at this point in time. So let's take a look at ZDog MD. If you guys don't know this guy, really, he's a doctor. I think he's out in Vegas, but he has such a great name. He's like, "What up, Z Pack?" Like he's known for doing that. He does parodies and stuff like that. But he brings up a good point. Like, stop hurting our healers, and he brings up a point where, you know, patients aren't always right. And I feel like yesterday I brought up the whole Plaquenil, patients demanding it rather than prescribers prescribing it based off their clinical discretion. Patients aren't always right. That's the truth. Some are fucking assholes, and that's the truth. So let's see. Let's look at the top comments, right? We got MT Bin 2 says, God help us with regarding our healthcare workers. They're already stressed, overworked, and many of them hated their lives due to this unbearable stress. Keep in mind, the healthcare system was already stressed before, right? It was pretty like, if you were in healthcare, it's pretty tough, right? That was before COVID. This may break many, and you'll see an exodus of healthcare workers after this is said and done. Who's going to fill the void after? After this, there will be a national discussion on how to bolster healthcare workers. More pay, vacation, less stringent schedules, greater flexibility, more staff overall with greater clinician to patient ratio. It will take getting rid of the bloat in healthcare admin, too many managers in healthcare that sit around and don't do shit. Take 2-hour lunches and then take 2 minutes of, let's read more, overtime. And before this, the people wanting to go in healthcare was decreasing. They saw this shit. Now it'll be even worse. So healthcare managers reading this, you may be keeping a system running barely, but realize that you've been part of the problem. When you crab at that RN running up overtime, when you take your 2-hour lunch, when the RN or MD barely had time to take a drink. Regardless, right, this person brings up a really solid point, right? So really just the strain on a lot of healthcare workers. And I think this will be a huge opportunity for a lot of pharmacists as well. Since there's a surplus of pharmacists, right, this might open up some opportunity. I actually, somebody, I forgot, was it was it you? I forgot who posted it, but they said Florida pharmacists, this was actually in, so this was on Reddit. I actually did, like, I saw it on Reddit. Don't know, I haven't looked into it, but passed in Florida, allowing pharmacists to treat physician patients for chronic illnesses, arthritis, COPD, type 2 diabetes, HIV, AIDS, obesity, or any other chronic condition. Authorized pharmacists to treat children for influenza, streptococcus, lice, skin conditions. It's about fucking time, honestly, right? Like, seriously. But here's my number one fear about this is like reimbursement. Like our services shouldn't be rendered for free. We're already really strapped for like within the pharmacy. I don't think retail or community pharmacy is the place to really do this, right? Unless there's like reimbursement reimbursement. Like I don't see this working out in the community setting. Like pharmacists are already stressed and annoyed at having give out immunizations. I don't think that pharmacists don't want to provide these services. They just are strapped so thin where it's they don't have enough resources to kind of deliver these deliver these services. It's really a resource pool problem, right? And it's a real issue, right? So by the way, make sure to smash that like button. Um let's see. Kind of take a look at the the comments really quick. Any dumb comments, by the way, I'm not going to share. So anyways, let's see. Zerk 2 says, with the global recession occurring every 10 years or so, with the last one being in 2008, do you think this global price is not recession yet will reset the timer of 10 years? Or do you you cut off by the way, Zerk 2. But basically this kind of accelerated like the whole correction in the market, by the way. Um and I mean, we're gonna go through a step back, but last time, like one of my friends, he was telling me, like last time it was because of we had a financial breakdown of our system. This is due to external factor, due to a health pandemic, right? And so that's what, once we kind of solve this problem, he believes that the market is gonna take off again and whatnot. It won't be as long as it was during 2008 because we had there's a few different reasons for what happened in 2008 as well. So there's all that. Do it again. Would you go to college or go straight to business right off from high school? Honestly, knowing what I know now, I probably would have just went into service-based business, right? I feel like right now, especially now, there's a really great demand for remote service-based businesses. I was actually looking at some top like businesses. Maybe I'll read some of them for you. But like and I'm trying to create like an ebook right now of like the best recurring remote service-based business ideas. And I've been actually following Derek Halprin, some of his work, just really verifying it. But really, things like lead generation, social media management, WordPress, there's a lot of different online business services that you can provide. Even if you're not a online guru, like there's so many different ways to kind of provide services online these days, especially with all these applications and e-commerce type of things as well. Like, I'm not saying that you should go into e-commerce, but definitely service based. It requires a very low capital, little no risk. The only thing that you risk is your time, right? But essentially, you're building up your business acumen while you're providing these services. I think it's the best way to start. Very low risk, right? And that's primarily my business right now. It's service based, right? And you can turn it into an agency as well in the future. So that's some of my thoughts, right? But probably I would go to. I probably would not go to college at this point in time. Really, connections, all that sort of stuff, you can actually build outside of. You don't really need to build with school, right? School's not a requirement these days. It doesn't fill a natural gap for me, right? To do what I want to do. Doug says, Lemon Doug says, when do you think this COVID will be over? People are saying like by the end of summertime, but honestly, no one really knows. I mean, no one really knows, but I have no doubt that this is not the end of the world. We're just going through a really rough time, but I've always been kind of positive about like this whole situation as well. Like I mean, that's the only thing you can really do, right? You can't really can't control what other people are doing. You can't control like what things are what's happening in the world and stuff like as well, right? But really just see the opportunity. I see opportunities in the market. I see opportunity gaps within remote service-based businesses. I see a lot of opportunity out there, man. So Taha says, I am a first year pharmacy student at King's College. Awesome, man. Have you ever had a friend work in the lab, such as clinical lab scientists? I think I probably do have a friend, but no one comes to mind. I wouldn't be surprised if I had a friend like that. Eddie, try and get a job out here, says Dirk too. Let's see. I agree it wouldn't work in the community pharmacies. Actually, you know what? Looking at kind of like the stream really, like look at the comments really quick. Um, we got some freaking funny ass comments like PGY7 flavor X, right? All I want to do is put pills in big bottles into a smaller one. That's funny as fuck. But basically, I know that someone wrote a comment like CVS will make it a metric and make it part of OSAT, right? And basically, really emphasizing the point, this needs to happen, but with proper compensation and with proper resource pooling. Because like we are great. Now let's talk about financial compensation. Yeah. So I really think like Florida's been doing this for a while. I'm surprised it got through. I'm a current this is an interesting comment. I'm a current PA, so I completely understand wanting to practice to a full extent of your training and license, but do most pharmacists and students really want this, or was it push from big chain retails to make more money? My mom's a retail pharmacist and she's distressed over the thought of adding one more thing to her workflow. She also feels like this is outside her scope of practice as a pharmacist, so I'm not really trying to poke the bear, but I'm just genuinely curious about where the legislative push came from. And like I said, I didn't read this, but someone said, I myself don't mind as long as I have the resources to do it. But historically speaking, pharmacies will eventually have the added work and liability with less help to do it safely. Now on top of screenings, interactions, metrics, phone calls, and immunizations, I will now be expected to do flu screenings, strep testing, simple diagnosing, while accepting the fact that I've had my tech hours cut by 20, right? This is really a legit concern, right? The overhead of a pharmacy having their resources stripped. This is not cool, right? And like this has been a chronic problem happening within the pharmacy where a lot of pharmacists, they just feel like they're very short, like they don't have a lot of resources, and they feel this is where the stress comes from, is being expected to do something, not having the resources to do it. And that's why we face things like burnout within pharmacy as well. So it's just really interesting. Ayishing Eng says, you think the PA profession is better than pharmacy? I do. I wouldn't say better or worse. I would say there's more opportunity within pharmacy at the moment, right? According to statistics, right? In terms of fulfillment too, I feel like there's more of a challenge within like I want to choose my words right. It's not to say that pharmacy has its own ways of its challenges, but the problem solving seems a lot more fulfilling within, like solving a lot more clinical problems and whatnot. It just seems a lot more fulfilling within PA rather than where's the fucking milk? How am I going to get my pills? Right? We're dealing with a lot of less impactful problems in the world when we're really capable of doing a lot more. When we like, I have no doubt, by the way, that pharmacists could fill this need, no problem. The real question is, do they have the resources to execute something like that? Because it's not, imagine like your pharmacist is providing these services and they're expected to pick up the phone in the middle of a real consultation or providing these extra services. That's not cool. So just really interesting, guys. Let's see. Lessons Unlocked says, you're doing midday streams, huh? Yeah, man. Just Tom really watched Ramit Sethi do his midday streams and stuff like that, and just really inspired me to just kind of give back and really talk people through what's happening in the news and my opinions on everything that's happening, that I see opportunity within this time, right? And that's something I truly believe in, right? Various seeds. What up, Kevin? Says Kenny. Kenny is actually a really cool friend of mine. We do jujitsu together. Can't wait to, when this COVID thing is over, I can't wait to get him in a lockdown and crotch ripper him. But yeah. What up, Kevin? Good to see you, man. What's something you've learned in the past 6 months that's been memorable for you, man? Well, somebody asked me actually a similar question on a podcast, And I want to say the most memorable thing that happened within the last 6 months is that I realized that I'm truly happy in my life. That I am already kind of like living my ideal lifestyle, right? The central cores of it, right? I get to be challenged every day. I get to make impact, and I get to make new connections every day. So those are core pillars of my life. Something I've been doing a lot more is really challenging. I went to Dan Pena's maybe about 3 months ago, and it really taught me how to think a lot bigger, not to be so scared of my decisions, and just really do more with my life. And I've been really having fun doing a lot of checklists, learning Airtable, um, and doing like I'm learning every single day. I'm so freaking happy every single day. If you look at me, like a few years ago when I first started my YouTube channel, day and freaking night, man. And I'm glad to be kind of one of the pioneers with pharmacy, just really updating people what's happening in the world. So that's what I'm up to. And plus, jujitsu, bro. I get to do jujitsu, yoga, all that sort of stuff every single day. Not anymore though. Even though stocks across Europe and the U.S. Uh, and Asia look to be heading some welcome reprieve on Friday, analyst Stefan Isaac said the coronavirus is unprecedented. Bob Dole says, "Hey, Thursday stream in a row." I'm glad that you caught all this, by the way. That's pretty awesome. Uh, Coming from a pharmacist, do you feel like COVID is as severe as the government says, or is exaggerated fear monger? I feel like a lot of it. I think it is quite serious, but I don't think it's. I think the panic in the public is just making it a lot worse. To be honest with you, the reaction, the pure reaction of like I was talking yesterday on my stream where it's like take one side of the spectrum where people are hoarding toilet paper, right? Versus like slowly replenishing their stocks, right? I feel like because of the pure panic, it's creating this hoarding mentality, which is spreading this scarcity, this false scarcity within society and whatnot. And then like toilet paper companies just can't keep up with the demand, and just apply this to not only toilet paper, which is not, I wouldn't consider a necessity. Dude, wipe your ass in the shower or get a squatty potty. I don't know. It's kind of disgusting, but apply this to food and other basic necessities, and then it feels like you're in imminent danger. But in reality, I mean, it's not like we're living through World War II where people are dropping dead and stuff like that in the streets. We're not dealing with the Black Plague here, guys. Um, that's why I don't feel like it's as severe as people are say there are. But it really shows you there's a lot of fucking assholes in the world, and your patients aren't always freaking right as well. Because just yesterday, somebody told me on the stream where some asshole coughed in a technician's face and was like, "I hope you get COVID." I would press fucking charges on that fucking person and take him to fucking court after, obviously, all this COVID-19 type of stuff goes away. But that should be considered assault. What a fucking asshole, man. That's really messed up. Does something like influenza kill more? I don't have the data in front of me actually, but people forget influenza kills a lot of people every single, especially the older population, quite a bit, But as far as does influenza kill more, I have no idea, to be honest with you. The daily fireside chats with Ramit. Yeah, I was actually really inspired by that, and so I like honestly, I need to spend more time planning out my planning out my content, right? And I was actually doing it this morning, so that's why I wasn't getting back to you, Tom, earlier. By the way, I must study that lockdown counter then. Yeah, so when you lock down, there's a lot of great videos. Teach Me Grappling has a really great lockdown like counter where it's pretty cool stuff, man. I don't play lockdown as much because my left knee is kind of injured right now, but it's actually feeling a lot better with the yoga and all that sort of stuff and acupuncture, which guess what is no longer open, which sucks, man, because I was actually seeing a lot of progress within that. But long term, it's not a big deal. It's just a minor setback. Quan Lee Chen says, hey Kevin, what's up? What's up, Quan Lee? Tell me what's up with you. Lol, people act as if it's a zombie apocalypse coming. Well, it's really funny. The other day, I was telling people that the Costco, the local Costco down the street from me, looks like a zombie apocalypse. People are lining up. There's carriages like flipped over and shit. People are fighting each other, which is crazy. That's I don't think that's aren't we practicing like what's that, social distancing or what do they call it right now? Really interesting stuff. People try to hoard daily necessities to try to sell for hire on e-commerce. It's pretty funny. Well, not funny, but it's actually quite sad. You see people like you hear stories about the hand sanitizer and stuff, and people trying to resell. By the way, speaking about well, I didn't have a good segue, but would really appreciate the likes, guys. If you could keep this up. YouTube's actually been demonetizing all my videos because I'm talking about what's happening in the world. So whatever, you know. So, but would appreciate it. We are lucky to have that. We are able to communicate, continue working remote because some industries are shut down, destroyed. Restaurants that are shut down, some getting fired so they can file unemployment check. Actually, I was speaking to someone. She was a teacher and she just got let go yesterday, and she's looking into remote work and looking into all that. And so I feel the pain. Like I'm telling you guys every day, like in my like one of the things I use every day is something called the 5 minute journal. Tim Ferriss recommends it. I really need to create my affiliate site really quick, man. But anyways, have have that journal, and one of the things that I talk about is just being grateful for all the remote work I have. Even though it's kind of this week was kind of slow for me, at least I still get work, right? And that's the number one thing, right? Like I'm so glad. And you're hearing stories about like Trump, like considering UBI, Universal Basic Income, as well. Government forced closing. Way cost. Why is Costco so packed? Because people just go there. You get the good deals, man. The freaking dollar churros, that freaking pizza, man. That pizza can last you a whole fucking year, bro. By the way, no, just kidding. And then buy from Costco and then sell on the internet. There's a lot of by the way, has anybody really checked out the memes as well on the whole Costco thing? It's pretty interesting stuff, by the way. A lot like I saw a meme of someone buying like what's it called? Buying Coronas and like toilet paper. So really interesting. There are like two types of people in this world, right? So that's what's going on. As far as like your concern, like guys, I want to shoot you guys a question. What are some of your do you guys have any concerns right now? Do you feel like this is gonna blow over? I'd love to kind of hear some of your responses with the whole situation right now. What kind of industries are you in? Because I was talking to this one guy, like to a viewer the other just now, just maybe about an hour ago, and he was telling me that he was in the he was doing some like county work, and then he was also legal assistant too. I was like, I forgot to ask him. I was like, how the fuck did you find me, bro? Like, why are you watching my channel? Because you're not even in the industry that I'm talking about. But really interesting that we connected as well. So pretty interesting stuff here. Let's see. Let's also take a look at what's happening on the Reddit world's Reddit pharmacy and see what's happening on the front lines, because I actually really like talking about the frontline stuff, seeing what's happening in the world right now. I gave see some stories of compassion as well, where somebody gave their tech $50 in grocery cards, and other pharmacists around the country should too. They're already understaffed. I actually was talking to one of my technicians from back in the day. He was telling me that it's like crazy every single day. And let me see if I can pull up his message really quick. Let's take a look. Obviously, I can't show you the exact message. You just gotta take it verbatim. But where's this guy? The pharmacy has turned into a Postmate now. Way more deliveries right now. He didn't really share that much with me, man. Let's see. American says, I don't think it's gonna blow over. We're in a recession now. Most likely, I think we're gonna hit a rough patch, but I don't think it's as long as the previous recession. Governments are forcing restaurants to close. For those not concerned like me, I have nowhere to eat. Fuck, dude, that's crazy. Is that true? Is that true, by the way? Tips to get hired as a pharmacy tech at Walgreens. I'm certified, but I have very little experience. I was only to do my externship. I was allowed to fill, but I don't think that's enough work. Honestly, I don't. I think the last thing that places like Walgreens and all that are considering is hiring. I don't even know if they're still hiring right now. If all these pharmacies are hiring at the moment, I'm assuming that they're probably on a hiring freeze because they're just trying to put out the fires on the front line as well. Um, Bob Dole says I read something funny today about COVID. That's funny. Forcing gyms and sports martial arts to close in Italy. There's a active curfew, where you can't be outside after dark. That's really weird. You can't be outside after dark. That's crazy, man. That's weird. But I am kind of bummed out about all the jujitsu gyms closing and stuff. Totally understandable because, I mean, dude, you cannot practice social distancing at all. I've been seeing some martial arts memes. If like one of the things I also do on YouTube too, I actually check out all the martial arts channels, jujitsu channels, and a lot like there's a huge movement for solo drills and stuff too. So I haven't been practicing. I really don't have that much space. Like literally, I'm in one small room, so not that much, but it's really tough. Um, you familiar? You familiar with Drake's songs? All Me, The Beat, and Katie, and got everything. I got everything. Cannot complain. Blah blah blah. I haven't. I haven't seen I don't think I've heard Drake's song. I haven't been really keeping up with music, by the way. Only essential services like pharmacies and hospitals are open. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Better get all my freaking better get all my freaking Vietnamese coffee and all that shit, bro. So crazy. And but here's the thing too, like even quarantining yourself inside the house, like sometimes I'll just go for a drive. Like earlier this morning, I went for a drive, got some Vietnamese coffee right here. But that's crazy that they're forcing everybody to close down it for the most part. It's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be really tough, man. But we'll all pull through. It's not the end of the world. So, let's check. I'm probably gonna wrap up relatively soon. I gotta hop off before the end of the hour. But let's take a look at other things. And by the way, if you guys have any specific topics, I know yesterday somebody wanted me cover how to create remote income like I do right now. More than happy to go over that as well. But if you guys have any other questions, make sure to leave them in comments too. I am keeping note. I do review every single stream, by the way. So I saw those articles about Walgreens employees said that there's no way of protecting themselves against the virus. It is true. There's like what's his name, RX Comedy was talking about it as well, about not having the correct protective gear for something like this. And that is something that's kind of unacceptable, man. Like these corporations, like we have to put priority on protecting, not fucking vaccines. We gotta put more emphasis on protecting our frontline healthcare workers as well, right? That's something I believe in. Anyways, guys, I'm pretty much running out of things to say. And I should probably get back to work on my content and whatnot. But just wanted to tune in and just really kind of give you updates from what I'm seeing in the pharmacy community and business life as well. So I'll probably be talking more about remote income, pharmacy, and all that. And if that's really the case where everything is closing down, I better grab some food before everything shuts down. But anyways, guys, really appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Take care. Peace, mother people. Stay safe, guys. Peace.